We're going to change the thermostat in this 280ZX. The thermostat is inside this housing here. This is the upper radiator hose. So before we do this, we're going to drain a little bit of coolant out to make sure that we don't have coolant come out of here as soon as we disconnect this hose. The drain plug for the coolant is right on the bottom of the radiator. So just put a pin under there, open it up, and let some coolant drain out. Once you've drained out some coolant, you're just going to want to undo these 12mm bolts and also, of course, take this hose off, undoing this hose clamp from this end. These hard fuel lines might make it hard to actually get a ratchet head in here, so I suggest using an open wrench for this one bolt right here. Once you've removed all those bolts, this should actually come off fairly easily. I can see that a previous owner had done a pretty solid RTV job under there, so I'm going to have to pry this one off. Once you get this off, you'll see the thermostat is sitting right here, which we're going to change, and I can see that that RTV was used because the previous owner didn't even put in the proper gasket that's supposed to be between these two. We'll do that when we reassemble, of course. If there's old gasket material or RTV as this one has on it, make sure you carefully scrape all this off so you have a smooth surface. While the thermostat covers out of the car, it's a great time to use some aluminum polish and make it look nice. It is aluminum, so you don't have to coat it with anything to worry about, like corrosion or anything. So if your previous one had been installed properly with a gasket and not a bunch of RTV, then when you pulled off the cover, your thermostat would probably just been left sitting over here, the old one. Notice that when you install it, that little tab should point towards the block. It may not be obvious, but that gasket is asymmetrical, so it really only fits one way for all those three holes to line up, so you pretty much can't mess that up. So we just put the gasket on and then put the cover back on and reinstall the hoses, and we are completely done. I suggest painting these bolts with anti-seize before you install them because they're steel and they're going into aluminum part, and there was definitely corrosion on mine that I had to break free. The torque on these should not be very tight. It's only 7 to 12 foot-pounds, so don't overdo it. And then remember to reconnect your hoses and top off your coolant and you're good to go. I'm going to leave mine off. I'm about to do a water pump replacement also.